Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into the intricacies of the USA tourist visa interview process. If you're gearing up for your own interview, this video is a must-watch. We'll be covering common questions and providing expert answers to help you ace your visa interview with confidence. Stay tuned to ensure you're fully prepared for this crucial step in your travel plans.
What is the purpose of your trip to the United States? When answering this question, the purpose of your trip to the United States should be stated clearly and truthfully. For example, if you are visiting for tourism, you should say something like, "I am visiting the United States to explore its diverse culture, visit famous landmarks, and experience the country's natural beauty." But if the purpose of your visit is to visit family and friends, you should state that clearly in your answer. For example, you could say, "I am visiting the United States to spend time with my family and friends who live there." It's important to be honest and specific about your reasons for visiting, as this helps the visa officer understand the nature of your trip and assess your eligibility for a visa. It's important to answer truthfully, because providing false information can lead to visa denial or future immigration issues. Additionally, demonstrating a genuine and legitimate purpose for your trip can increase your chances of obtaining a visa.
Number 2. Have you traveled to the United States before? If yes, how long did you stay? If you have traveled to the United States before, answer truthfully and provide the details of your previous visit, including the duration of your stay. If you answer yes but provide inaccurate information or try to conceal a previous visit, it can raise suspicion and jeopardize your visa application. For example, you could say, "Yes, I have visited the United States before. I traveled therein and stayed for." Providing this information helps the visa officer verify your travel history and assess your credibility as an applicant. It's important to be honest and transparent to avoid any issues with your visa application. If you have not traveled to the USA before, you would simply answer, "No, this would be my first visit to the United States." It's important to answer truthfully and concisely. The visa officer may follow up with additional questions about your travel plans and intentions during your stay in the USA.
Number 3. What do you do for a living? You should answer this question truthfully and provide information about your current occupation. For example, you could say, "I work as a banker," or "I am currently employed as a banker." It's important to be honest and clear in your response. This question helps the visa officer understand your ties to your home country, such as your employment status and responsibilities, which can affect your intention to return after your visit to the USA. If you are not currently working, you can simply say that you are currently not employed. It's important to be honest in your response. You can also mention any other activities or responsibilities you are engaged in, such as studying, volunteering, or managing personal affairs. If you are a student, you should mention that you are currently enrolled in a course of study. You can provide details about your academic program, such as the name of your school or university, your major or field of study, and your expected graduation date. This helps demonstrate that you have ties to your home country and are not planning to stay in the United States beyond the duration of your visa. As a student, you can reply to the question, "What do you do for a living?" by stating, "I am currently a student pursuing medicine at the University of Nigeria. I am in my second year and plan to graduate in 2026. This response shows that you are a student with a specific academic focus and that you have ties to your home country through your education.
Before we proceed further in this video, I kindly request just 1 minute of your time to introduce our books currently available for purchase on Amazon.com. We currently have 2 books on sale. The first book is titled Discover Abroad: Navigating Travel, Immigration, Study, and Employment Opportunities Abroad. Our second book is titled 450 Business Analyst Interview Questions and Answers: Ace Your Interview. These books are designed to help you expand your horizons, embrace new experiences, and unlock a world of possibilities. Additionally, the interview book can assist you in standing out from the competition and landing your dream job abroad. Simply click on the link provided in the description box of this video to order yours now.
Now let's continue with the interview questions. Number 4. How long do you plan to stay in the United States? You should answer this question honestly and based on your travel plans. If you have specific dates for your trip, mention them. If your plans are flexible, you can provide a general time frame. For example, "I plan to stay in the United States for 3 weeks. I have a 3-week vacation plan to visit tourist attractions and spend time with family." Number 5. Do you have family or relatives in the United States? If you have family or relatives in the United States, you should answer this question truthfully. You can mention if you have any family members living in the US and briefly explain your relationship with them. For example, yes, I have a cousin who lives in Texas. I plan to visit them during my trip and spend some time with them. It's important to answer honestly, as providing false information can lead to visa denial. If you don't have family or relatives in the USA, you should answer this question honestly. You can simply state that you do not have any family or relatives in the USA. For example, no, I do not have any family or relatives in the USA. My trip is solely for tourism purposes to explore the country's culture and attractions. Number 6. How will you fund your trip? You should answer this question honestly and provide details about how you plan to fund your trip. If you are sponsoring your own trip, you can explain your source of income or savings. If someone else is sponsoring your trip, you should mention their name and relationship to you. It's important to show that you have sufficient funds to cover your expenses during your stay in the USA. For example, I will be funding my trip with my personal savings. I've been saving for this trip for some time and have enough funds to cover all my expenses, including accommodation, meals, and transportation. I also have a stable job as a banker, which provides me with a regular income to support my travel plans. If you are self-employed and have your own company, you should explain this to the visa officer. Provide details about your business, its activities, and your role in the company. You should also mention your financial situation and how your business generates income. It's important to demonstrate that your business is stable and that you have sufficient funds to cover your trip. For example, I am self-employed and own my own company, Bidex Company Limited. My company is involved in wholesale and retail of household items. As the owner, I am responsible for managing the business and ensuring its success. My business has been operating for 7 years and has a stable income. I have sufficient funds in my business account to cover all my expenses during my trip to the USA, including accommodation, meals, and transportation. If you are a student, you should explain your student status and provide details about your studies. Mention your school or university, your field of study, and your expected graduation date. You should also mention any financial support you have for your studies, such as scholarships, grants, or savings. If someone else is funding your trip, such as your parents, you should mention this as well. For example, I am currently a full-time student at University of Nigeria, studying banking and finance. I am in my 3rd year and expect to graduate in 2025. My studies are funded through my parent, and I have sufficient funds to cover my trip to the USA, including accommodation, meals, and transportation. My parents are supporting me financially and will cover any additional expenses incurred during my trip. If you are not working and dependent on someone who wants to sponsor your trip, you should explain your situation and provide details about your sponsor. Mention the relationship between you and your sponsor, their financial status, and their willingness to cover your trip expenses. You should also mention any supporting documents such as bank statements or sponsorship letters that demonstrate your sponsor's ability to fund your trip. For example, I am currently not working and dependent on Andrew, who has generously offered to sponsor my trip to the USA. He is my uncle, and he has a stable income and sufficient funds to cover all my expenses during my stay in the USA. He has provided me with a sponsorship letter and supporting documents, including bank statements, to demonstrate his ability to fund my trip. I am grateful for his support and assurance that all my expenses will be taken care of during my visit. If you are a retired individual or a pensioner, you should explain your retired status and how you plan to fund your trip. You can mention your pension or retirement savings as a source of funding. It's also helpful to provide information about any other sources of income or savings you may have. For example, as a retired individual, I have a stable income from my pension and savings, which I plan to use to fund my trip to the USA. I have saved up specifically for this purpose and have enough funds to cover all my expenses during my stay. I am not dependent on anyone else for financial support and can comfortably afford this trip without any strain on my finances. I am looking forward to visiting the USA and exploring all that it has to offer. You could also add this: I am fortunate to have children who are well established and have offered to support my trip financially. Their bank information has been included in my visa application. Number 7. Do you have travel insurance? If you have travel insurance, you can say, yes, I have travel insurance. I purchased a comprehensive travel insurance policy that covers medical emergencies, trip cancellations, and other unforeseen events during my stay in the United States. I can provide the details if needed. If you don't have travel insurance, you can say, no, I don't have travel insurance yet. However, I plan to purchase a suitable travel insurance policy before my trip to ensure I'm covered for any unexpected events during my stay in the United States. In both cases, it's important to be truthful and provide accurate information. Number 8. What ties do you have to your home country? If asked about ties to your home country, you should answer truthfully and provide evidence to support your response. Ties to your home country can include family ties. Mention if you have a spouse, children, or other close relatives residing in your home country. Employment? Discuss your current job or business in your home country, emphasizing your role, responsibilities, and the importance of your position. Property ownership. If you own property in your home country, mention it as evidence of your intention to return. Financial assets. Describe any significant financial assets you have in your home country, such as savings accounts, investments, or retirement funds. Community ties. Highlight your involvement in community activities, social groups, or religious organizations in your home country. Your answer should demonstrate strong reasons for your return, indicating that you have significant ties that would compel you to go back after your visit to the United States. An example of how to answer this is, I have strong ties to my home country. I am married with 2 children, and my entire immediate family resides here. I have been employed at ABC Company for the past 10 years as a senior manager, and my role is critical to the company's operations. Additionally, I own a home and property in my hometown. I am also actively involved in community service through various charitable organizations. These ties are very important to me, and I have every intention of returning to my home country after my visit to the United States. Number 9. Have you ever been denied a visa to the United States or any other country? Yes, I was denied a visa to the United States in 2018. At that time, I had applied for a tourist visa to visit some friends in the US. However, my application was denied due to insufficient documentation regarding the purpose of my visit and my ties to my home country. Since then, I have taken the necessary steps to address the reasons for the denial. I have gathered additional documentation to support my purpose of travel, including a detailed itinerary and letters of invitation from my friends in the US. Additionally, I have strengthened my ties to my home country by advancing in my career and acquiring more assets, which I believe will demonstrate my intent to return after my visit. If you have never been denied a visa, you would answer as follows. No, I have never been denied a visa to the United States or any other country.